This is what $948 in sales looks like. Do you want to ship them with me? Come along and I'm going to show you what's sold and hopefully help you increase your sales too on Poshmark. Welcome, my name is Denise and I am shipping out some sales from Poshmark this weekend. I sold 14 items for $948 on Posh, mainly on Sunday and Monday. I didn't really send out any dramatic offers. I did sell a few high tag items which helped raise my ASP, obviously. I'm gonna get right into it. First item that I sold, and unfortunately I made a discovery after I took this item out of the wash. I'm surprised I didn't see it before. I have a feeling that the person used fabric glue on this hole. I decided to, because I had a day before I was shipping out, just give this Viore top a freshening up, and when I did, I discovered that there is now a hole in the sleeve. It looks like a little slit. When I feel it, it feels hard. So as I said, I feel like someone used a fabric glue, and then when I did it, put it through the laundering process, that part opened. So I have since canceled this sale to the buyer, and I told her I'm gonna be reposting it for a deep discount. She had paid $48 for this. This is a Viore Performance Daydreamer crew neck, and it did sell for $48. I will probably list it for $18 with the flaw. I do list items that have imperfections. I put call out in the title, and then buyers can decide if they want something at a deep discount that happens to have something wrong with it. There's no way I was shipping out an item that had a flaw in it and I sold it for $48 that was not disclosed. That would not be cool. So I'm taking the hit to my account, whatever happens in the algorithm. I also want to say I feel grateful that I did put this through the wash, because this may have happened when the buyer put it through the wash for the first time, and then I would have felt equally as bad. I am not in the business of trying to get one over on people, so it was a surprise to me. I don't want it to be a surprise to the buyer. Moving on. What's funny is that I ran my numbers again. I thought, okay, well now what's my average sales price with that $48 sale out of the equation? Items. I dropped down to selling $900 in sales for 13 items, which turns out to be $69 average sales price. So go figure, I'm here for it. The first item I am shipping out is, let's see, I just have to change the order of the way I'm looking at my shipping labels really quickly. I also have some shoes to ship out, and I have one fragile item. Now the fragile item I am going to ship at the very, very end. I'm going to show it in the video, but if you want to stay tuned at the end to see how I ship fragile items, I'm going to share and show what I do when I actually ship fragile items. So the first item I sold was a pair of Align joggers. They are in the color Vintage Plum, and these are brand new with tags. I have the opportunity sometimes at the yoga studio that I work at to pick up items that go on sale, and I take advantage of that ability to pick up brand new Lululemon items on sale. So I had these in my closet for whatever full price is. Basically my new with tags Lululemon items, I will just price at the retail price, and then I let offers play into the factor of selling them, right? And so the buyer sent me an offer for $70, which means I took home $56. And that helped me make over a $25 profit after my cost of goods for these pants. So that's kind of where I'm at. I do that, as I've talked about before, pie in the sky number when I list it. Then I have some flexibility when I receive offers from buyers. Of course, I could have gone back with this buyer and looked for a little bit more money, but brand new with tags, $70, making my money back, over double profit. I'm gonna take it. Well, the next item I sold seems to be one of the celebrations of this video, and it just happens to come next. I did talk about the nuances and the baggage that have come with finding an item that costs over $1,000 retail. So this is a Moncler jacket. A Moncler jacket. Moncler is a luxury high-end brand, and you know, with a luxury high-end brand comes a lot of interest from people who are looking to really score on the pre-owned resale market. A great deal on luxury items. I mean, who doesn't love a great deal? We all know that the price dramatically drops when you buy a luxury item and walk out of the store. So a lot of people went for it and tried to pick up this jacket for $100, and I had it listed for $500. The buyer sent me a $275 offer, and they seem to have a presence and are fairly reputable on Poshmark. So I decided to accept that $275. Someone who offered me more than 50% off for their offer, I decided to go for it. So this jacket has sold. My cost of goods was $20, and I am bringing home about $222 after Posh takes their fees from the $275. So I walk away with about $200 from this jacket. If you noticed, if you have watched my videos before, I have kind of changed, and I apologize for this. I know it's distracting. I have stepped out of my garage to create this ship with me video. Just the next item I sold is this lovely LaFleur dress. This is the second time I have sourced LaFleur. This is like a faux wrap dress, and it has ties and pockets. It's really quite lovely and pretty. It's a size 10. I sold this for $88. I was saying, you know, when I sell something for a buy it now price, or you know, something that I am selling to be in really great condition, I want to make sure that I take the time as I'm sending the item out to make sure that it's been lint rolled, to make sure that it has been depilled, and really just to take this opportunity as I'm shipping to be thorough and not have any surprises on the other end for the buyer, because that's not fun. Now, to say I wouldn't take my time with a $10 item, that's not quite accurate, but I don't feel the same kind of pressure as I do for when I sell an item that is $88, $250. So that's just kind of where I'm coming from with it. This LaFleur dress actually had fairly good attention. I'm just gonna regret to say this, but it took me a little bit to get this posted. I have mentioned before that I'm just not a huge fan of posting or listing, I should say, dresses that are a little bit harder to photograph, just simply because of the constraints of Poshmark. And so yeah, it took me a little bit to get this item posted, and then it sold within probably 3 weeks, I would say. Maybe had about 7 to 10 likes on it. And as I mentioned, I may just, yeah, I'm gonna put this in the tie back. I thought I might send it in a box. And as I've mentioned, I didn't really send out any big offers this weekend. Sometimes I do 30% off. Sometimes I'll do kind of bundle based offers that offer a deeper discount, but this weekend I didn't really do that. I just kind of let the weekend roll, and so it did work out in my favor. The one thing that I feel like is a little bit different, and what I've been working on, is that I've actually been listing items every single day, and sometimes 15 to 20 items. I had fallen down in my inventory to about 720 items. I'm now up to 795 items, I think. So I like to kind of stay in that 750 to about 825 range. That's about the maximum capacity of my inventory, my mental capacity. All of those things kind of add up and I take them into consideration. It also helps me understand that I am selling as many things as I'm posting. If I stay in this range of about 100 items, I'm not bouncing up to 1,400 items in my closet and only selling 5 items on the weekend and doubling my inventory. That wouldn't be a very good business practice. The next item I am shipping out is this Stella McCartney dress. I wore this dress to Posh Fest, and a funny story about this dress, it'll be featured in my offers from Likers videos, which I'm going to go back to looking over the week of my offers to buyers. August just kind of got away from me. If you haven't caught that video, I'll link to it here. And so I had this in my closet for, I think, around $140, really pushing the envelope of what I thought I could get for a Stella McCartney dress. We got around to posting it around maybe January, so it spent a good part of the year in my closet. It recently got reposted, so I revisited the price on it, and I decided to mark it down to $107. And then from there, this is how the sale happened. I was offered $50 and I declined. The buyer came back and offered me $75, which I accepted the $75. In my head, I actually had this pause and a moment and thought, should I have taken the $50 offer? This dress really hasn't had any serious interest and I should have probably just went for it. So when that $75 offer came in from the person who had sent me an offer the day before, I decided to accept that offer. I just always have to be kind of keeping a pulse on what I have items listed at. So let's say I listed this dress 2 years ago and it really didn't get very much interest. Well, there's a few things. Is it because of the style? It's a large, so it's a great size. Like the MM LaFleur was a size 10 and it sold right away. And I feel like the MM LaFleur, I priced a little bit under market. I probably could have posted it over 100, but I went for 88 and then it sold rather quickly at a price that I felt great about. So this Stella dress, it just kind of, like, I look at it. Is it style? Is it because it's overpriced? Is Stella McCartney just not fetching those prices? If Stella McCartney is fetching those prices, what are the items that are selling at this higher price point? Those are the things that I take into consideration when I receive an offer. A pair of Abercrombie and Fitch. These are the 90 straight high rise and they are the Curve Love. They also happen to be, on top of all of those fancy descriptions, a long inseam. So these are going to a fellow tall person or someone who appreciates having long length jeans. I'm 5'11", so that's why I'm kind of joking about that. These jeans were just featured in my offers from buyers videos as well. I had someone offer me, I had them in my closet for $55 and I had someone offer me $20 for them and then $25. I countered with $38 and the buyer wasn't interested in my $38 counter. I received an offer from another buyer for $40 and so I accepted it. These jeans have recently been posted in my closet. So this is another item that I sold fairly quickly. I sold this Patagonia. It's just really a bralette. It's a pretty simple and basic bralette. It is a size medium. The buyer sent me an offer of $25 on this item and I accepted. The next items I sold were a listing for 2 items, so it's not technically a bundle sale because it was just one listing that sold. I sold 2 figs tops for $32 and yeah, I believe it was just an offer to the buyer that went out. I do have 15% off auto offers in my closet for items that are liked from buyers. The next item I am shipping out is a Lululemon Align tank top. The color of this is Wild Indigo and the list price on this is $68. I sold this for $56 to an offer from me to the buyer and she accepted. This is another one of those items that I picked up brand new with tags. I tend to know, because I host a lot of Lululemon live shows, what colors are a little bit more sought after, and you know, everything is not created equal, even if it's brand new with tags, right? So really kind of keep your pulse not only on the name of an item, the style of an item, but also, you know, is it a color that people want? Is it a color that people are interested in? I tend to find that like reds and oranges are a little bit more of long tail items, especially in Lululemon. Purples and blues and indigos tend to sell fairly quickly because those are colors that Lululemon doesn't actually stock all of the time. They tend to have like spring runs or summer runs of items, and then basically what happens is once they're gone, and you have to buy them on the secondhand resale market. That's where I come in. Okay, so my next and last clothing item is a pair of 7 For All Mankind high-rise jeans. Now these sold for $56 amazingly. I've had them for quite some time. These came from a consignment client. These are a size 24. So they're very stretchy, but also a very particular market, right? So these are modern 7 For All Mankind. My friend who I consign with, she, we split the profits halfway. We do half. And she really has some super fun pieces, and I love kind of selling clothes for her. I don't get clothes from her a lot, but whenever she passes something along to me, I have fun because it's typically styles like that can be found on Revolve that are just like a little bit harder to find at thrift stores, to be honest. I mean, I know we can find everything. I found Montclair, but some things that are just like newer in style, I sometimes feel like I can't find as easily. So I have 3 pairs of shoes to ship out, and the first pair I'm gonna ship out is a pair of Dries, D-R-I-E-S, Van Noten pumps. So these were made in Italy. These these were not a great pickup. I've had these for quite some time. I joked on Instagram that if you want to sell an item, put it in a bin that's a little bit harder to access than the bin you currently have it in. So I recently did a big overhaul of all of my shoes because I had brought in a bunch of new shoes, but I ran out of real estate in my bins that are on the middle shelf that are most accessible. And I have some overflow on the top shelf. So what I did was I stuck these heels in this bin that was up high, which I'm kind of laughing about now. So these pumps, I had them in my closet. My goodness, I want to say for something like, oh my goodness, Denise, other than what were you thinking? Maybe close to like $88 or something. They have great comps, but I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm not sourcing pumps. Like I don't really know what the most sought after heels are. And so I have kind of avowed from this moment after selling these for $42, I sent out an offer. This was a counter offer for $42 that I was going to accept it because I had been sitting on these shoes. The price was still great, $42. I think it was great. I don't really source something like that for over 10 bucks, so I still made back my money. I didn't have a big investment in them, but it's kind of like the funny part about it is, like, I don't know what I'm doing when I source heels. Like, throw a Hoka at me, throw a Teeks at me, get me in shoes that I know, and I can decide if I want to pick them up or if I want to pass. I didn't do a very good job of talking about these. These are a pair of Madewell Mindy Lug sole shoes. So they have that Vibram chunky sole, they're slides, they're really lovely. These are in great shape. I kind of wear and tear and patina to the leather, but nothing really substantial that I had to note in the listing. I sold these for $50. So I'm out of the heels market. I just saw some outsourcing the other day. I can't remember the brand. I recognized the brand and they were so cute. They were like a blush pink and I looked at comps. Now I did two things when I was in the thrift store. I looked at what people were listing them for, and then I made the very important move, and then I clicked over to what things were selling for, and those were quite dramatically different. A lot of people had these heels listed for, my goodness, $80, maybe $90, $100, and they were actually selling for closer to $30 to $40. So I decided, you know what? I'm giving up my heel shoe game. There are people who are talented and know exactly what kind of heels people are looking for, and I've just decided I'm not that person. These are a pair of Dansko textured leather clogs. Now, just in general, finding natural tone Danskos is really where you should energetically be looking. Also, Mary Janes in fun colors like blues and reds. Those are also highly sought after. I've sold about 4 pairs of Danskos this past month easily. I always like to find the sand colors, the natural tones, and then on the other side of the coin, I like to find bright colors as well. Now these, I literally bought these 2 weeks ago and I just sold these for $55. So know and invest time in what is the best Dansko to be picking up, right? Not all Danskos are created the same. As we know, not any item is created the same. And once you begin to develop and hone in on those styles that are more sought after, you start with that kind of blanket brushstroke of, okay, here's a pair of Danskos. This is how I drill down on Danskos. If they're black, they have to be in almost near perfect condition. I'm not gonna pick up a pair of trashed black Danskos. They're gonna sit in my closet. I typically tend to go for styles that seem unique and that are in very good condition. A really great place to look on Danskos, there's 2 places. The heel, look for kick. They can look amazing on the outside and someone could have put, you know, 5,000 hours into them working in the hospital, right? So really pay attention to that. The other area that I find that tends to wear is the piping, which is like the edging, and that doesn't dissuade me from picking up a pair of Danskos. Heel kick wear will convince me, yes or no, and piping is always something that I note, but a lot of people don't really allow kind of piping wear to impact their decision to buy a pair of Danskos. So that's my Dansko advice. Sold this mug for $32. This is a La Fonda mug. La Fonda is very well established in Santa Fe, New Mexico. These are Pueblo houses that are glazed on the outside of this. This is the original mug that they used to have on tables at La Fonda. So this is a little bit more sought after and collectible. That's why I picked it up. So those are the items that I'm shipping out. If you want to stay with me for a few minutes and see how I ship fragile things, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you. If you are new here, please give this video a thumbs up or subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around. Thank you so much for commenting and just taking time to say hello. I look forward to getting to know you guys more. Take care, everyone. Basically, what I want to say about shipping out fragile items is this. You want to make sure that you can float the item inside the box and it doesn't even come close to any side, right? So you have to imagine you drop something off to the post office and the carriers are throwing things on top of it. It gets tossed around. You don't really know how this is going to be handled, even though I'll put fragile all over it. When you create that little bit of padding around every side of it, imagine this item floating in the middle of this box. That's my strategy. You may have to upsize your box. You don't want to skimp on the box size because you want to make sure that your fragile item is protected. Now, I just happen to have, and it feels a little bit excessive, but in the same vein, it also helps me feel more comfortable. I just happen to have some of this foam. So I save shipping materials, and then I have friends who, when they move, they know I ship items and they pass their shipping materials along to me, which I love because I can A, reuse the item, and then I don't have to spend money to pick up shipping materials, because who really wants to do that? So foam on the inside. Now this is gonna seem excessive, but that's just the way I am, and I want to make sure that this arrives safely. So I am going to put bubble wrap around the outside, and I'm going to use some of this foam. Basically, the ends of this are going to be what's protecting it. The bottom is going to have the foam in the box to protect the sides. This is what I'm going to do. I have shipped some amazing Pyrex across the country, and it arrived safely. I do take pride in my ability to ship things that are fragile safely. You know, I could wrap this in tissue paper, but I don't, even though I'm being excessive, I don't want to be excessive. So I am going to stuff this guy in here. Let's see. There we go. And the handle is sideways. Let me see. I'm gonna put a little bit of bubble wrap on the top.